Disclaimer: this video contains historical footage, images, and commentary used for educational and informational purposes. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act, the Fair Use Act, Southern Roots Untold does not claim ownership of copyrighted material included in this production. All rights belong to their respective owners. This documentary was created to preserve, educate, and inspire, to share the untold stories of the South with respect and truth. Selma, Alabama, a small city with a mighty spirit. When you arrive here, it almost feels like time slows down. The sun hits different on these streets. The air feels heavier, charged with memory. This isn't just a place in the South. This is sacred ground. Decades before the world came to know Selma, everyday black citizens were fighting battles no one wanted to see. They were teachers who taught in one-room schoolhouses with hand-me-down books, preachers who led Sunday sermons and civil rights meetings in the same breath, mothers who worked double shifts, only to come home and teach their children to dream of freedom they hadn't yet seen. Voting wasn't just a right, it was a fight. They faced impossible literacy tests, cruel intimidation, and the constant fear of losing everything. But they kept showing up, because they believed that their voices mattered, even when the world told them they didn't. And then came that day, March 7, 1965. It was a Sunday morning, like any other, except the air buzzed with purpose. Hundreds gathered at Brown Chapel A.M.E. Church, a sanctuary that became their headquarters for hope. They sang hymns, held hands, and bowed their heads in prayer. Then they walked, arm in arm, across the Edmund Pettus Bridge, determined to claim the rights promised to them as Americans. What waited for them on the other side was not freedom, it was fury. As they reached the crest of the bridge, they were met by state troopers armed with tear gas, clubs, and hate. The peaceful march turned into chaos. The air filled with screams and smoke. Blood stained the streets of Selma that day. That moment, captured on live television, broke through America as comfort and forced the world to face the truth. But the people of Selma did not retreat. They regrouped, they prayed, and they came back stronger. 2 weeks later, led by Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., thousands marched again, not just from Selma, but from across the country. Together, they crossed that same bridge, this time under the protection of federal troops, and walked 54 miles to Montgomery. That march helped birth the Voting Rights Act of 1965, a law that changed America forever. But Selma's story didn't end there. The bridge still stands, not just as a monument, but as a message. When you walk across it today, you can feel the whispers of those who risked it all. Their courage didn't fade. It lives on in every protest, every ballot cast, every generation still fighting for equality. The bridge speaks. If you listen closely, it tells you that progress comes with pain, that justice demands persistence, that faith still moves mountains, and sometimes it crosses bridges. Selma, Alabama, is more than a place on a map. It's a heartbeat, a reminder, a promise that the South's story is not just one of struggle, but of survival and strength. This is Southern Roots Untold, where the soil remembers, where the past still breathes, and where every story reminds us who we are and who we can still become. Subscribe for more untold stories of Black resilience, Southern pride, and the history that built us, because the roots still run deep.